Well, it was interesting. It was, you read all the weather predictions, and all of them sounded like it was just going to blow like heck, and there were going to be tons of storms that ripped through and very high wind. Waves didn't seem to be that big an issue, but it was such that I know two boats that decided they weren't going to go, and that was as of Saturday morning. And Bob and I actually are pretty good friends. I talked to Bob on the telephone, and I said, what we discussed it, and we said yes, we're going to go sail, and if it gets too rough, then then we can deal with it, or if there's some emergency situation. We actually wound up having to take our main down. I've never taken our main down in a race before. And the new modern rigs and the modern mainsails, we don't have reefs in. And we carry a storm jib and a storm trysail, for exactly those kind of conditions. But the problem is it was blowing so hard that we just got the main down. We didn't have an opportunity to get anything else up. And I think in the Great Lakes, that's pretty common because thunderstorms usually only last about 20 minutes. I think this one that we were in lasted way longer than that. But, we saw 69 knots when our main was down. We took it down when it was blowing 40, and that was always our plan. So, I mean, we went through all the scenario about how to make that happen so everybody knew what their job was. So it was a big deal, but it wasn't a big deal. Everybody just jumped in and did what they planned on doing. So the crew was amazingly good, so really happy. Oh, Chicago, I think I'm close to 20. In Bayview, I did my 45th, so yeah. So we both have lots of experience. Everybody on my crew has over 20 years of Chicago Mac races, so it's the highlight of the season. That's what you wait for. Well, I don't know. This was, I've never finished this early. I think the earliest has been like 8 o'clock at night on Sunday night, but it's been a long time in this race that we finished this early. I mean, it's pretty amazing. I can't tell you how many empty hotel rooms we've left during this race. And yeah, I mean, just last week we never got here to check into anything. So we're more than happy to be here so we can actually take a shower and eat dinner. Yeah. Well, that's a really good point. People ask me, how was it? And I say, well, there's going to be no wind, there's going to be big wind, there's going to be rain, and there's going to be flies. And the order changes and the emphasis on one changes, but you get all of those things. And that's what Great Lakes sailing is. And we love it. Now, we do lots of other offshore races. We do the Bermuda race, the Transpac, and down south. But this is our bread and butter. This is our home field. So, and it's a treat to have a group of boats that are very, very, very similar, and really race hard together. It's great. Okay. So yes, we were battling Heartbreaker the whole time we were out there. I don't think we were ever separated by more than a mile or two.
It'll be great.
Spell your name for me, just for editing purposes.
Yep, Lat.
You want the last name?
Yes, please.
Spinney.
Working that fast for most of the night.
Oh, it's always fun. It's such a big, heavy boat, and it's tough to steer when you're going that fast. But it was fun. We had breeze. It was a little light going through Gray's Reef, and then turning the corner, the breeze backed, and we had to jibe down the straits. But it's always fun for that time. You know, the storms. We got lucky. We didn't really see much of the storms, most of it behind. I've never seen such a spectacular lightning show as the first night. It was about 8 hours of non-stop lightning. It looked like fireworks. It was pretty cool.
Wow.
Well, it's a cruising boat. It's tough to steer because the rudder's so big. It's like a barn door down there. So that's the biggest thing. You're pushing a lot of water around. Dining, the food is always first rate. You know, Peter tends to do it right, so it's quite nice. And it's not just dinner; it's every meal. There's, you know, hot food and fresh food, so it's great.
Awesome.
Well, we had a lot of experienced people on the boat, but quite honestly, everybody is, because they've all sailed the Volvo 70 with Peter, and they've all, you know, sailed in their own right. I think this is his 50th Chicago to Mackinac race. So, you know, the experience level went throughout the whole boat. You know, it's always great to have around the world sailors on, especially for the organizational aspect of maneuvers. That works really well. And just figuring out who fits in the right spot, and just every time you do the maneuver, that's who's in that spot, and it just works out. Everything's easy then, and communication's king. So, you know, everybody's that has a lot of experience is also experienced in being a good communicator. So that works great.
Very cool. So I have a last.
Well, I'd like to say the food, but no, it's just the experience. The boat's really cool. I mean, when else do you get to sail on a boat that has a fireplace, a teak bathtub, you know, beautiful staterooms, you know, fine china, and a you know, first edition book collection. So it's just a really neat experience, and you know, it's a great group of people. You know, it's worth coming back just every year to do it, and you know, that's why we all do it. So.
Well, is the Max specifically like the race that brings some of that out in racing this boat?
Well, it's the only race the boat does. So yes, for that respect, but I mean, for all of us, at any race you do brings that out. So it's, you know, it's you know, just getting the experience and having the fun and spending it with a good group of people is always great. Well, luckily it was not a very long race, so that's always good. You know, we had a good watch system, so everybody got some sleep, and you know, I think you know, you have a good time. You know, like half the time you want to stay up with the other watch because you're just hanging out and having fun, and it's comfortable, and you're, you know, just chatting about old stories. So it's a lot of fun.